history. But man, I appreciate you sharing that, because that's not only hip hop history, that's world history, music. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest records. But then you went on to work with more artists, and like you said earlier, you worked with Tupac. He fresh out of jail. He on death row, and you made another record that was almost, all eyes on me. That I think is diamond now. So how did you
well, it was
connect
diamond back then. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It sold over 10 million within a couple of years. It's first hip hop double album in history. And yeah, Tupac had only been out of jail probably less than a week when we hooked up. And everybody say Pac was a workaholic. He had already done 25 of the 24 of them songs on that album was already done. In the first few days, I was like, man, how did you get that much done? And then we recorded the 2 songs that I did. Only God Can Judge Me and I'd Rather Be a Nigga. Both them songs in the same day. Got those done, and pretty much I guess one more after that. That's the 27.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, like I said, I know you done worked with the best of the best, but I got to ask you, what was it like working with Tupac, being in the studio with him? And then obviously, he ended up passing away not too long, after that. So what was it like?
6 months later, but it was a lot of fun. He was full of energy, man. One of the most energetic people I'd ever had the pleasure to be around and work with. Positive energy. Pac was, he was the type of guy where, if he liked you, he loved you. He was very passionate. If he didn't like you, he probably hated you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how he was. He's just so super passionate, man. And we bonded. He wanted to do his own label. He wanted me to work for his label. We had an agreement already. It wasn't on paper. It was just a handshake agreement to work with his label. It was going to be called Euthanasia Records. That's what he told me. And so he was trying to get that going. He told me Quincy Jones was working with him to help him get his label up and running. I found out later that he was in fact working with Quincy, and that was his label. But, I know Suge was trying to get him to do the Death Row West, and I think he ended up kind of because of him owing so much money to Death Row, he ended up saying, okay, I'm gonna do that. It just did, it kind of, I think he was a little bit stuck, you know what I mean? When you go in debt with the label, you get out of jail, they dropping all this money on you and cars and all this stuff, that those aren't gifts. Those are, that stuff has to be recouped. And it's hard, when you don't understand or you excited, you just trying to run and you moving fast. It's a lot of money. I think he got in a situation where he needed to work his way out of the deal instead of just moving on, from the deal. And unfortunately, he wound up getting killed.
Right. Like you say, he didn't have enough time to even process all of that stuff. We got to see it and how it played out musically, but unfortunately, he passed away.